Hi everybody. Well, here we are. It's a beautiful evening, and we're going to be on page 75 of your captain's log. We're going to be covering a squat. Okay. Before I get started on showing you how to perform a perfect squat, let me give you a little bit of a theory or background on it. Your squat is one of the most important exercises that you need to be strong in and to be functional in. If you think about throughout the course of a day, how many times do you stand up off of something? Whether it's off a chair, off a couch, off a toilet, picking something up off the ground, getting out of a car. Uh, there's so many different ways that you squat throughout the day. Uh, that's why it's so important. As we move forward into the squat, most people actually think of the squat as just strengthening your legs. But what's interesting is that you have to have just as much strength in your core and your posture as you do your legs when you perform a perfect functional squat. And we're going to be covering that throughout this segment, okay? So enjoy. Join me in this beautiful scenery and surroundings, and let's go ahead and get into it. One of the best things that you can do when you're learning to squat is to get a closet rod or a broomstick, just like this, because it shows you so much about your posture. Posture, posture, posture. If anything that you've learned throughout the exercises so far is that posture is so important. Most people, when they do a squat, or they pick down and grab the laundry, or grab the little boy, or grab the dog, or the trash, or whatever, their posture is bad. It doesn't take much at all, but when you actually bend down and round your back, you can put up to 225 pounds per square inch in your spine. That's bad. You don't want that. So you're going to learn perfect posture. When you have perfect posture, the muscles that you're working are actually going to work more efficiently, and they're going to be targeted better, okay? And that equates to a stronger metabolism and a protection of your spine. Now, very quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right in my back here. And you're going to notice that 3 points touch right in between my booty right here, my upper back, and my head. Okay, that's good posture. Now look what happens if I start to round. Look how far that stick gets away from my head. It's so important to have that touching all 3 points. Okay? Now, when you're doing a squat, what most people do, let me actually turn to the side here. I'm on a little bit of an uneven surface here, but you're going to notice that if I go straight down, even with good posture, my knees go forward. That's what you don't want, okay? All that force is going to go into your patellar tendon, and it's going to cause knee issues. A lot of people with knee problems can actually do a functional squat if they do it right, okay? So watch me. I'm actually going to have all 3 points touching, and let me get on a level ground here. The first thing that my hips do is they're going to go behind me, just like this. Now watch me. My hips go back, okay? I'm going to go down as low as I can without compromising my posture, okay? Notice that the spine is nice and strong with the angle and straightness of the broomstick, okay? You're not doing this. You can't go down like that, okay? So pretend like your spine is a piston, just going straight up and down. You can also hold that broomstick if you're wanting to give yourself like a training wheel to teach you that correct posture, okay? So here we go. You're gonna go back and up. Again, go down as far as you possibly can without rounding your back or your hips. Everybody has a different range of motion when you're starting. Some of it is your glutes have to learn how to work, because the first part from here to here is pretty much quads. When you go down below there, it actually recruits your glute muscles, the powerful muscles of your hips. That's a problem because a lot of people don't have the function of their hips or their glutes. So the only way they can get down lower is by rounding their back. That's why they have lower back problems sometimes. Not necessarily because their back is bad, but because they don't have the use or function of their glutes. Okay? So give yourself time, whatever range of motion you have, without rounding that back is what you want. Some of you may only be able to go that low without rounding your back. That's okay. You're gonna keep working at it, keep working at it. You're gonna be able to go down nice and low, okay? Now, let me give you from the front angle, okay? I want you to notice that my knees track with my toes. It's very important not to let your knees come in while your toes are out, okay? Very important. So let me do this. I'm gonna go down as low as I can with good posture. See how my chest stays up? Just like that, okay? My booty went behind me. My weight is staying on my heels, not my toes. Even with good posture, look, I can rock forward or back, toes or heels. So you want to stay on your heels the whole time, okay? That doesn't mean lift your toes, but keep the weight on your heels. You're gonna feel it go into those muscles, okay? So important. Now, let's say some of you are pretty strong and you want to increase the resistance. There's a couple of different ways of doing it. Grabbing a dumbbell is a great way to do a squat. I don't recommend most of you doing a squat where you put the bar on your shoulders, loading your spine, okay? If you're an athlete and you are training for a sport that requires you to do those, great, go for it, okay? Most of us don't need to be loading our spine with a bunch of weight, but this is a great way to do it. You're going to hold the dumbbell right under your chin, okay? Here we go. Good posture. My butt goes back, my chest stays up, and I go up and down. Let me give you a side view. Watch my posture. My butt's going to go back, and I keep that posture, okay? Now, a lot of you aren't going to have the strength in your lower back to be quite as vertical as me. You might be more here, okay? As long as you're able to keep your posture and not round, that's okay. You're going to get stronger through that lower back to keep you a little bit more vertical. Give yourself some time. Whatever angle you're in, make sure that your posture is perfect, okay? The other way you can do it is being right here like this. Chest stays up, and you go down and touch, and up. I like to kind of squeeze the back a little bit when I come up. It's down, and up. Good posture every single time. Okay? Awesome. Well, there you have it. There's the squat. Some of you may not be able to do a squat. If you'll go ahead and scroll through your the other videos that I have for you, I'll be having an alternative to the squat and also the reverse lunges for those of you that have had pretty bad knee injuries, surgeries, things like that. Okay? So, all right, guys, the squat is so important. Think about how many muscles you're actually using when you do a squat, especially when you're holding that weight under your chin. It's amazing for your metabolism. We've got to do exercises that contribute to overall function for everyday activities, okay, like squats because of how often you use them. But we also need to do them in a way that's going to build your metabolism. I've said that several times throughout some of the exercises. That's the key to getting and staying lean, is not just doing an exercise to do an exercise, but to have a purpose behind it. Okay? What you want to do is build your metabolism by building strong muscles, targeting the large muscles and big movements like a squat all the way up and down. And you're off and running. So implement that into your Courage to Change workout there in your captain's log, and wish you guys the best. On to the next one.